Hi everyone, I am Bhavana Rajagopalan. I'm holding this memento that I got when I left ISB a few days ago. Currently, I have become an alumnus of the Indian School of Business. And it's very sad because our class, the class of 2020, had to leave campus early. We had to break mid-term because of Corona. And I hope all of you are safe inside your homes and are doing something productive. So this video is something I'm shooting because I have been getting multiple messages, especially on Instagram, about how to get into ISB. What do I do? Can you help me? So it is not possible for me to individually guide 30, 40 people because I do not have that much time to expend unless and until I'm getting paid for it. But I thought, I could answer a few questions on videos. So I opened a question answer poll on Instagram and I got a few questions, many of them actually, and I have made my notes and I'm going to answer a few of them. And also I'm going to be very blunt and honest. I hope this video helps you to understand the entire admission process better, what people look for, and make an informed decision about whether you want to apply to ISB or not, and if you do, then how. So here we go. First off, okay, so I got a lot of vague questions and people you need to know. So no matter what your age is right now, whether you're 18, 19, 25, whatever, you need to know exactly what kind of questions you need to ask. People have asked me, how tough is it? What can I do to get into ISB? Why do you think you got in? I want to get into ISB. Well, I'm glad and I appreciate that, but it is necessary for you to do your own research. You have the college website and most of the information is available there about multiple programs, whether it is the YLP, the EEO, the normal PGP admissions, the minimum requirements, the subjects, everything is available. So first off, do your research, then go and ask very specific questions so that people can help you and people know that you are really, really serious about it. Second, I am not very sure whether you really want to do an MBA or want to get into ISB if you're that vague about it. So once you've studied, then probably, anyone can help you out. Second, I'm going to still answer a little bit of all of these vague questions. So I also wanted to get into ISB. I did my research. I spent a lot of time looking for people, seeing their lives, searching online on forums, reading the website, going for the admission seminars, webinars, and I think you should do that too. Okay. Now I am an early entry applicant, early entry candidate. That is different from the Young Leaders program, that is a YLP. The difference is that the early entry candidate and the PGP candidate, the normal PGP candidate, have no difference except for the fact that we have a slightly deferred admission, nothing else. The YLP program is different from the two of these because you apply when you're in college and you have campus tours and there's more guidance. There's zero work ex. When I applied, I had about 2.5 years of work experience, less than 2. About 1.5 years of work experience, and I was falling short by 2 months or something, and I applied and I planned it like that so that I could join when I was done with 3 years of work ex, and I joined. Okay, now if you want to get into ISB, one, first off, know why you want to do an MBA. 2, know why ISB, why not other colleges. 3, do your research and have clarity about what you want to do after you come to ISB. What do you want to gain out of this place? Because you're going to be paying a lot of money, and trust me when I say this, your money is going to fly. So you need to be very clear about why you want to do this. Okay? And every person who got admitted, not just me, got admitted because of their unique profile. So there's no specific profile that will get admitted. You could be doing anything in the world, but as long as you're doing it well, and you can tell them how it matters and why you will be a very good value addition to the class, to the next class or whichever class you will be joining, then I think you're through. Okay. Next up, I got specific questions about the GMAT and the GRE score. So you need to know that ISB is one college that functions like the colleges abroad, okay? Like especially in the US. So there's no cutoff, like you have the cutoffs for CAT percentiles in IIMs, okay? So you could be, sorry, my WhatsApp is on, yeah. So you could have a GMAT score of say 650 or a 750. Anything can work. But that clubbed with your academic achievements throughout, through school, through junior college, through undergraduation, any other degree that you've done, that apart from that, your work experience, your extracurricular activities, your failures, your successes, your personal initiatives, everything together matters. And I mean this, I can't emphasize enough. There are people who get rejected at 770 GMAT score, and there are people who get accepted at 640 as well, or 600 sometimes. But those are rare cases. So to be on the safe side, always go for the average of the median that the school releases. So I don't know what the median or the average for the previous class was, or this incoming class is going to be, but usually it's around 700 to 720. It's safe to aim for that score, but that doesn't guarantee you an admission. That's about the GMAT. I think in the GRE, minimum 320 should be a safe score. Years of work experience. So when we talk about years of work experience, you need to know that ISB does not take people with less than 2 years of work experience. So unless and until you've worked, don't think of applying to ISB. And that, irrespective of whether it's ISB or not, is a very good option when you're doing an MBA. Because when you're learning, it's pretty useless if you don't know how to apply it. And when you've worked, you have a little bit of insight into how I can use these tools to apply in my work, even if you're not going into the same lines. Because working will give you a very different experience. I'm not talking about internships. I'm talking about proper work experience. Okay, so that is something that you need to make. You need to make it count. You also can have as many years of work experience as you want. 2, 4, 7, 10, 15, whatever. Again, it depends on the mix of your profile. So remember that. Academic scores. So yes, they do expect your academic scores to be good. Now that's not because they're being unfair. Good throughout, consistently in school, junior college, everywhere. That's not because they're being unfair and picky, but because the 1-year program at ISB is very hectic and very intense, and as much as Instagram shows our lives to be glamorous, which they may be to an extent, it is also difficult, okay? And trust me when I say this, you have too much to do and too much to study, and it's stressful. So when you show that you have that kind of an academic standing and capability, they know that you'll probably be able to take the load when you walk into the campus. So make sure that you do have good scores. If you don't worry about it too much. If you think consistently it has been bad, but there's something that stands out really well in your profile, like say your scores are not that good, but you're a national or international level badminton player, then that's good enough probably. So you there's no harm giving it a try. Okay. Now miscellaneous questions. Okay, so some people ask me about internships and volunteering experiences. Yes, they do matter, but okay, so I'm so sorry, my brother walked into the room and he didn't know that I was shooting this video. Anyway, so I'm going to resume again. I was talking about internships and volunteering experiences, okay? So people ask me, will that count? Is that helpful? Yes, it is helpful if you have learned something from it. So something just being on your resume will not count, because you will be questioned about it if you're going for an interview. If you do end up going for an interview, they will ask what was your takeaway, what value did you add? So unless and until it really, really matters, then don't add it to your resume or to your application. Don't do it just for the sake of having something on your resume, right? But yes, it helps, but internships are not counted under proper professional full-time work experience. You need to know that. People also often ask me about the tuition fee. Prospective students, friends, people, whoever you are, please go and check the website. I can't emphasize enough on how much research you need to do by yourself. You can't expect someone else to give out all of the information that's already available on the internet, right? You ask me something that's not available, I will be happy to share. But there's so much information available. First, go do your research. You'll have to do some research and put in some effort. Somebody asked me a very interesting question. What did you wish you knew? One thing you knew. Sorry, one thing you wish you knew before joining ISB. I wish I knew that the transition is going to be so fast, and it's not easy to take. It's very overwhelming. It often disturbs you mentally. And I probably was very excited, but I was not prepared to take it. Although it did flatten out over a period of, say, 3-4 months, but it took that much time, and 3-4 months is a lot in ISB because the entire course is like a 12-month course. So potentially 1/3, 1/4 of the course was like gone, and trying to balance and see how things are going. But what helps is having a good set of friends. So from day one, make sure you not just network, but stick to a small but good set of friends. Find those people. Find your people. GPA. Somebody asked me, does GPA matter? GPA matters a lot. I can't emphasize more on this. Okay, I've just come close to the camera because I'm so serious about it. So a lot of alums will tell people that GPA does not matter. And that they say that probably because they've not been in a situation where they felt the danger. And I have been there, okay? Because when I was grappling with my academics and the transition initially, I did not study enough, and I should have. And I will urge everyone who joins to study from day one, because it is important. You have gone there to do that. It is important, and there's going to be a major overload. Like in 5 weeks, you're going to be probably taught finances or accounting that people learn for CFA. So it's going to be heavy, and you can't be prepared enough. Maybe you can just take a few courses and all of that, but GPA matters. So study from day one. Balance it out. You don't need to be a rattamar, but you need to study. And be consistent. GPA always matters. It's fine to be okay average, but don't go below average. That's important. And I have a lot of people who will vouch for this. So study. Essays. Okay, so essays are a very big part of the ISB application. Mostly everyone has 2 essays. More or less, they're the same every year. The questions are twisted a little bit, but the crux is the same. What they're trying to look for is what you bring to the table and what you want from the school. Okay. Now I'm going to give a couple of very generic tips. Have your life stories ready. The stories that have molded you in your life, have them ready, and try putting them down in your essays. And make sure that you edit your essays a lot, that it is crisp, that you are not blabbering. It's not an emotional blog that you're writing. And yes, I am saying this, I'm the one who writes the most emotional stuff all the time, but that is a professional piece of document wherein you will be judged, and you will be judged within a span of say 60 to 120 seconds. Somebody is going to skim through that piece of paper without knowing you, and that person is going to decide whether this candidate is good enough to come to ISB or not. Does this person bring some value to the table, something different, something diverse, something to add to the diversity? And is there something that we can offer? Do we see scope for that person to do something big in life, so that ISB maintains its brand image, because the school has to do its job. So you need to think about it from this angle. But if you need specific essay guidance and application mentoring, I do that for a fee, and I've been doing that for more than a year now. Less in the past year because I was busy with ISB, but I've always been doing that. I'm always happy to give advice like this, but very specific admission mentoring, because I get too many requests. I do that for a fee, and if you want that, you can probably drop in a comment or message me on Instagram or mail me. With my mail ID is available on my Instagram handle. It's bhavanatime@gmail.com. I think I've covered most of it. There's one question on how to study. Well, I can't really tell you how to study. You need to pick up all the books that are required, whether it's for GMAT or for GRE. I had covered this in one of my previous videos, so I think you should go and watch that. I don't want to repeat it. And be consistent. You will need time. You will at least need to spare 2 to 3 months. So Make sure you do that. Brush up your math, brush up your vocabulary, brush up your grammar, read newspapers, read current affairs, see how business is going down. And in this tough time, wherein the entire world is getting affected by Corona, I hope you know what kind of financial decision you're taking when you're applying to ISB as well. Make sure that you plan it all accordingly. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed out on one thing. There was a question about scholarship and how easy it is to get that. It's not that easy, honestly. It's not very easy to get a scholarship. But if you can afford to pay, and if there are people, so there are need-based scholarships and there are academic scholarships where if you're brilliant, then you'll get a scholarship. So I have not received a scholarship. I paid a lot of money. I paid 35 lakhs plus all my, expenses through the year. So all of us have spent about 40 lakhs through the year. So it's a lot of money. Make that decision wisely, and I wish you all the very best. Stay safe, stay home, take care, lots of love. Bye-bye.